I'm 79 years old, and I'm sitting alone in a small kitchen that still smells like coffee even though I stopped drinking it years ago. I lost my marriage after 30 years because I thought silence was peace, and by the time I learned the difference, there was no one left to hear it. I'm not telling this to be forgiven. There's no one to forgive me anymore. I'm telling it because time feels thin now, like paper worn soft at the edges. And some truths get heavier the longer you carry them alone. Most mornings are quiet here. Not the good kind. The kind that presses on your ears. The kind that reminds you that no one will ask how you slept or what you're thinking about. I used to think quiet meant everything was fine. I was wrong about that longer than I want to admit. When you're old, people assume you've figured things out. They think age brings clarity. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it just brings the bill for all the things you didn't face when you had the chance. I met my wife when I was 24. Her name was Margaret. Everyone called her Maggie except me. I always used her full name. I liked how it sounded. She was warm in a way I wasn't. She filled rooms. I stood near the edges and watched. I worked a steady job, accounting at a manufacturing company. Nothing glamorous, but it paid the bills. I was proud of that. I thought providing was the same as caring. It took me decades to understand those aren't the same thing. We married young by today's standards. A small ceremony. Her parents cried. Mine shook hands with everyone and talked about the weather. That should have told me something about the language I grew up speaking. But I didn't know how to read those signs back then. Our early years were busy. Long hours, cheap furniture, nights where we fell asleep halfway through conversations. Maggie liked to talk about her day, about people, about worries that didn't have names yet. I listened. At least I thought I did. When things got uncomfortable, I stayed quiet, not because I didn't care, because I didn't know what to say. Silence felt safer than saying the wrong thing. I thought I was protecting us. We had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Life filled up fast after that. Schedules, school lunches, birthdays. I worked more. Maggie managed everything else. I told myself there was balance. Sometimes she'd ask me what I thought about something, a decision, a feeling, an argument she'd had with her sister. I'd shrug, say I didn't have a strong opinion. She'd look at me for a second longer than necessary, then nod and move on. I thought that meant we agreed, or that she understood. I didn't see the way her shoulders dropped. I didn't hear what she stopped saying after that. There were moments, small ones, the kind you don't mark at the time. Her sitting on the edge of the bed, staring at the wall, asking if I was happy. Me saying yes without thinking, because I thought happiness was just the absence of disaster. Her asking if we were okay. Me saying, we're fine, because we weren't fighting and no one was leaving and the bills were paid. I believe peace meant stillness. No raised voices, no slammed doors. I didn't realize peace can also mean connection, talking, risking discomfort. The years passed quietly. Promotions, school graduations, a mortgage paid off. People told us we were solid, that we were lucky. I took pride in that word. Solid. It sounded reliable, unbreakable. But solid things don't breathe. Maggie grew quieter. Or maybe she just stopped trying with me. I didn't notice the difference. I thought we were settling into ourselves, getting older together. She started spending more time with friends, volunteering, going on long walks alone. I told myself that was healthy. I never asked what she was thinking on those walks. One night, after the kids were grown and gone, she told me she felt lonely, sitting across from me at our own kitchen table. Same one I'm sitting at now. I remember nodding, saying I understood. I didn't ask what she needed from me. I didn't ask how long she'd felt that way. I went back to my newspaper. I wish I could say I didn't know better, but I think part of me did. I just didn't know how to reach for her without feeling exposed, vulnerable. like I'd be stepping into a language I never learned. A few years later, she suggested counseling. I laughed a little, not cruelly, nervously, said we weren't that bad, said other couples had real problems. She didn't argue. That should have scared me. A DID in single quotes T. Silence can feel like agreement if you don't know what to listen for. The turning point didn't come with shouting or slammed doors. It came quietly, like everything else. Maggie got sick, not deadly, but serious enough to slow her down. I went with her to appointments, sat in waiting rooms, held her hand when she led me. I thought this was what being there looked like. One afternoon, after a test came back clear, she cried in the car. I asked what was wrong. She said she didn't know if I knew her anymore. I said of course I did. She asked me to tell her who she was then. I couldn't answer. Not really. I knew the facts. Her birthday, her favorite color, her habits, but I didn't know her inner life. I hadn't asked in years. She looked out the window and said, "That's what I mean." A year later, she told me she wanted to separate. She said she didn't hate me. She said she was tired of feeling invisible next to someone who loved quiet more than truth. I didn't fight it. I thought giving space was respectful. I thought time would soften things. That we divorced after 30 years of marriage. No courtroom drama, no bitterness, just signatures and a house sold and a life divided into boxes. She moved to another state to be closer to our daughter. I stayed. I told myself it made sense. We spoke a few times after that. Polite conversations, updates about the kids, the weather. She sounded lighter. That hurt more than anger would have. She died 6 years later. A stroke. Sudden. No last conversation. No chance to say the things I've been saving for later. At the funeral, people spoke about her warmth, her honesty, her way of making people feel seen. I sat in the back and realized I had been married to someone I never fully met. Not because she hid, because I didn't step forward. There are things that can't be fixed once time closes the door. You can't go back and ask better questions. You can't show up when the moment has passed. I live with that now. The knowledge that my silence wasn't kindness. It was avoidance. It was fear dressed up as calm. I don't hate myself, but I don't excuse myself either. There's a difference. If you're listening to this and you're still in the middle of your life, I won't tell you what to do. I'll only tell you what I wish I'd understood sooner. Silence is not peace if it costs you closeness. Avoiding conflict is not the same as choosing love. People don't leave because of one argument. They leave because of years of not being met. If someone asks you what you're feeling, they're offering you a bridge. Even if you don't know how to cross it, say that. Don't stand still and call it safety. I thought I had time. I always thought that. Time is generous until it is in single quotes T. Now my days are quiet in a different way. I make my own meals. I watch the news with the volume low. I talk to photos more than I talk to people. There are moments of gratitude. We had good years. We raised good kids. I don't pretend otherwise. But there's sorrow woven through it all. A low hum. The sound of a life lived beside someone instead of with them. If this meant something to you, sit with it. You don't have to rush. Just don't wait forever. As for me, I'll finish my coffee substitute and wash my cup. The sun will move across the floor like it always does. And I'll keep telling the truth, even if it's only to myself now.